from, and I was like, man, I want to train. There was this desire to want to train, but never really pulled the trigger. And also, and then after I got a family, I've got a wife and I've got two kids. In my mind, I'm like, I need to be equipped to be able to protect myself or my family. And so there was and so as soon as before I moved to Rochester 3 years ago, I was I was looking, scouting for gyms to train at, and I landed at Empire, and man, I really wanted to do jujitsu, and the first class that I ever went to was a Friday night, and on Friday nights, it's pretty chill class. Coach Wally, he does rounds with individuals, holding the mitts for them, and as soon as I threw that first jab, uh, I was like, "Oh my word!" I fell in love, man. It would just the passion just kicked in from there, and it's just never died, man. It just keeps growing and growing. Studying fighters and just looking for ways to develop my game, and so that's really how the passion started, man.
Just so we just kicked in live a minute 25 seconds ago. So the last part you just said, we missed the opening part. So like
Yeah.
it was my fault. I'm pretty bad with this new technology, but we're rolling live now. Sorry guys if you just jumped in and we're talking in the middle. We started out. We talked about Dennis's fight, like what a good job he did, what it's like to fight in your first fight. So you want to just recap that real quick, Dennis?
Yeah, so the going into that first fight, it was an amazing experience. And but really couldn't fight my game and had to fight in the moment, doing what I like just really knew in the moment. And it had a I fought a pretty a very worthy opponent, man. Jake was a dog, and he's a young guy. He's got 16 years on me, man. I'm 37 years old. My coaches honestly were like, we don't know. At first they were like, when I first told them that I wanted to fight, they were like, we're gonna try to get you somebody close to your age. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, Coach, I fight with dogs already at the gym on Thursdays, and I was like, I think I got this. And finally, they were like, you're not getting any younger. We'll give you this chance. If you want to fight this 21-year-old, you can go in there. And so got in there, worthy guy, strong guy, pressure fighter, and I think we both put on a pretty good performance for because it was both our debut fights, and he had it was a great fight, great first experience.
Yeah, even his muscles had muscles.
Yo,
Like that
Yeah.
dude is so big,
Yeah.
dude.
Guy.
He did this double bicep. I was like, oh damn.
Yeah.
Well,
Guy looked like a Greek god.
I
yeah.
know, for real, like a Spartan for real, man. And I didn't like it, he didn't seem that tall. Like he was taller than me. It felt like it at the weigh-ins. But when we were in the actual in the cage, I was like, man, this guy did he grow a little taller over time? It just really like just was apparent that the height difference.
Yeah,
Yeah. I like
definitely.
how your strategy moved the head, slip, and hit him with the right hand.
I so like yeah that slip I Liam Anderson like just a few months ago last year sometime last year I asked him for some tips, and he just was working on working the slip, because I asked him like, dude, after our sparring session, like, how do I get in on taller guys? And so he gave me the strategy really to beat him. And it's not that I ever will, though. That dude's a beast. But he gave me some pointers and taught me how to really just work on my slips. And I've been trying to work on that the last few months.
Liam Anderson's a great pro. He fought Keith Ferrant a while ago for a title, and he stopped Keith pretty quick.
Was that
And now, was that?
that was a title fight with Keith?
I'm pretty sure it was a title fight. They were both amateurs. So I don't know. I think it was.
Yeah.
Stop clicking that, Ray. Is that you?
Yeah. 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 My bad. My bad.
Damn, Ray. Damn's like spamming us. I'm gonna put you back to co-host. I'm gonna stop letting you run everything. Yeah, so him and Liam had a great fight too. Like I cornered Keith for that fight. So Liam's like a hell of an athlete, man. Like man, he's something else. And your other teammate Nick Walker, we threw him some love too. Make sure that we throw him some love on this podcast now. He stopped Gabe Vega, one of the KO Kings of K4. So that's a super impressive win just on its own there.
Gabe
Yeah, I
came
was definitely impressed with him.
Yeah, Gabe came at him like strong, like just very like just the pressure was from the get go was right there. And but I've trained with Nick, man. The dude's just composed. If you get to know Nick, he's a thinker. I watched that podcast with you and Gabe, and
Yeah.
The whole thing. Gabe sounded like he was also like a strategist and a very like mindful guy of the fight game, in not just studying the fight game, but actually in the ring, because he said he was setting up that knockout. And so but Nick's also a very calculated guy, and so I knew that he could work well, fight well even under the pressure. And great fight, dude. Great
That
fight.
was another fight with a huge height disparity.
Yeah,
Nick was like so much taller. Like Gabe almost had to press the action.
yeah,
And then sometimes I almost feel guilty as like a host and a hype guy, and I hype up all these shows, and I'm like, oh, he's a KO king, man. He's gonna get a knockout. And sometimes you're like, man, maybe to hype this guy up too much, and he's looking for a knockout instead of really like trying to do what he's supposed to do. So Nick Walker's just he's happy we're giving him some love here. He giving you the prayer sign, right? So like hopefully we didn't psych out Gabe and make him headhunt a little bit more than he normally would, but sometimes that happens.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nick's loving you. See,
Yeah.
Empire on the rise. Let's go, Dennis.
Hey, that's another reason why, man, I wouldn't have taken this fight, or even considered getting into the cage if it wasn't for my team. Oh my goodness. Just the camaraderie that we have at Empire is just there's a group of guys that I've really bonded with, and we don't just do the fight game. We really do life together, man. We've got a group chat going where we talk about life. We're there for each other, and we talk about how we can excel in the ring, but also in life. So if I didn't have that support network, man, I would not have pursued this. My team has been very vital in my progress and my growth in the fight game, man. I love those guys so much.
Do you think being religious really like makes that camaraderie a little bit tighter? Do you guys like pray together and stuff, or
Well,
like how's your team go?
not necessarily like so for me. It's weird because like early on when I was when I became a Christian, I was pretty aggressive with my faith, man. I'm telling everybody about Jesus, and my parents trying to shove it down my dad's throat and everything. And now I found like I'm a lot more calm with my approach to sharing my faith. And like everybody at the gym pretty much knows what I stand for, my beliefs. They know that I'm a pastor, but it's not as apparent in the sense that like I shove it down everybody's throat, because I just wait for opportunities and doors to open to where people open themselves up or make themselves available for me to like speak. If somebody's going through depression, I deal with depression myself, and I share how my faith informs my experience and how I get through those things. And so guys reach out to me because they know what I am and what I stand for. And so it's a lot different now with how I interact with people and faith. It's not like just shoving it down people's throat, man. It's more like I build a relationship with people, and even and so they when opportunities open, I share, and even with people of other faiths, man. I love to dialogue with people that have different views than me. There's a brother at Empire, Abdullah. He's a Muslim, and we've had coffee together. We've hit each other in the face on Thursday night sparring, but we've also had coffee together where we share our world views, and we've asked questions. Seeking to understand other people is key and vital, and at the end of the day, I think that people need to understand that it's okay to disagree, right? And we can disagree to disagree and still love each other.
For
And
sure.
yeah, so that's been super cool. But yeah, with that tight knit group, where I think I bring value with my faith, but my friends also bring value to me, even though they're not Christians, because they love on me in certain ways, and so I think just the camaraderie, that openness and vulnerability, transparency, and being there for one another is really what holds that group together.
So your group is tight, like you said. Did you feel that when you came back in from the first round? Did that kind of recenter you? Because it looked like you came out a lot better in the second and third rounds and got stronger as the fight went on. Did your corner help, or was it just getting acclimated to the cage, or what was why did your performance continue to get better each round?
Uh, that first round, I was just trying to figure everything out. And when I was thinking in my head, I'm gonna touch gloves with Jake, and dude just came at me, and I was like, my coach said, Coach Chris was like, you got to be careful, man. Some guys touch up and try to get a sneak shot in, and so be careful, keep your guard up. Jake didn't do that. He was just a dog, man, and so I was trying to figure him out and his style and what he was going to bring. And so that first one was just kind of just feeling him out. And here's the thing, because I've watched so many amateur fights and guys debuting, and the reason why I stayed calm that first round, because typically what I've seen in guys that debut is they empty their gas tank in the first round. I'm like, what just happened? Second, third, like they might not even make it to the third round, or if they do, like second round and third round, they're gassed out because they emptied their tank. And so that first round, I was just trying to, all right, let me figure this out. Let me get comfortable and whatnot. And that first round, I was just like, man, I got to fight on my back foot the entire time. I try, like I said, I tried to press forward a few times, but he held his ground. And so I was like, all right, this is how I'm going to fight my game. And just pretty much defending my castle, guys coming in. All right, I gotta defend my castle with pretty much that cross. I'm just kind of bummed out that I didn't follow up that cross with a hook, man. It was single shots, man, and I missed that opportunity. But then again, it was just like there was a few times where I tried and I missed. But yeah, it was just trying to figure everything out. And then that second and third round, I was just like, all right, I just tried amped up my volume a little bit. I felt comfortable when he hit me, because he got me with a couple good shots. And so I just try to amp up the volume like second and third round.
I'm glad no one muscles like that ever hit me. I'd be like sad. His muscles have muscles, man. He's such a big guy. Let's get into why we really brought you on, man. You have such a great story, and you went from kind of a criminal past into finding Jesus. So can you kind of walk us through that? And that's like, this is such a good story, man. And like I talked with Keith, and Keith is a real religious guy as well. And like they were telling us, oh, don't let him on the mic, like don't let people on the mic. We got to hurry up and get through the show. But I know what you went through, and I wanted to make sure that you got some mic time so you could tell the crowd that was there. And I'm man, that Ben shared the story with me. Like he did that like little sit down with you or whatever, and you guys talked about this. But I want to put this out there so like people can see what can really happen, how you can change people's lives, and then maybe tell us what you're doing to help the community a little bit too.
Absolutely, man. I'd love to do both of that. So I was born in the Philippines, and in the hood, man, in the ghetto, and that really, I just was processing my whole experience, my life, and why, and that's important because, like I never like really growing up, I held on to that identity of, even though I was so young, I left when I was 5. Just knowing that experience, living in a very, this is my basement right now. I'm in my basement now, but like living in a very small room with my family. That's how it was growing up, and I just kept that experience with me, where my relatives just working for a few, like if you compare it to dollars, working for a few dollars a day, like working their butts off, that whole experience of coming from poverty, and then just living on just like that street life. it informed my identity. And then when I moved to the States, we were in San Diego in '91, and we were there for 6 months, then moved to Japan for 6 years. And My dad was in, like I said, he was in the Navy, and then just growing up as a kid, bro, I'm not proud of my experience and just the choices that I made. I was a bully, man. In elementary school, I would pick on kids with special I would bully people with special needs and just anybody, right? Because and as I as I
No.
as
Pick
I
on a 765, guys. I'm sorry, I had to say it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
oh and I love to reflect on my experience and to really try to understand myself and where I came from. And when I think about like when I was talking about this with some people a while back, and I said, man, I just fed off of being the center of attention by being a bully, being liked. I was like, yeah, and looking back, I didn't know it, but I was like, the choices that I made, picking on people, playing, being the tough guy, being the class clown. I saw that people were attracted to that, or I got attention from that, and so that was my life, just elementary school, and then we moved back to Cali in '97. That's when I started but living on base. In Japan, you didn't really have access to drugs or any of that stuff. But when we moved to Cali, I was in the seventh grade, and that's when I started to be exposed to drugs. Got started to get high, lived the party life, and then in high school, as a sophomore, I caught my first case. I got caught with an ounce of weed, like we were right around the corner from my house. Me and my boy were smoking, and caught a case, and did some time in juvie for that. And as time progressed in high school, also got involved with heavier drugs. Started using ecstasy, and started using methamphetamines. And there were 4 times that I remember, bro. I should have died, man, because I felt like I was gonna overdose. I was at a house party, I was at a club, and I would tell my friends, like, I don't even want to go to sleep right now because I feel like if I go to bed right now, I'm not going to wake up. My heart was racing so bad from those 4 experiences. I remember it so clearly in my head, man. It's so vivid still, where I had those near death experiences with drugs, and and then got involved with gangs really, and like towards the tail end of high school. Initially, it was a gang in the town that I lived in, a group of friends that I just hung out with. We just got into so many trouble, fighting people, and I think it was towards the and like right after high school. One of our friends, he had an uncle that was involved with the triads, and if you guys aren't familiar with the triads, that's like the Chinese version of the mafia. It's
Yeah.
like organized crime, and there's like there's rules, and so we got connected. Initially, my friends, I didn't want to do that. I was like, let's do our own thing. We don't need to get involved in that. But slowly and but surely, everybody started trickling into that lifestyle, and or into that group. This is actually the tattoo. Dragon is is a tattoo from that gang, um, and so once all my friends joined, I was like, "That's my family," and that's one of the selling points of gangs, man. You feel like you're attracted to it because there's that familial aspect of like, I'm a ride or die for you. I got your back. We're your homies, and so when they joined, I was like, this is my family. I'm gonna go with them, right? And and so I did that, and what's crazy is I don't have it with me. It's actually upstairs. I'm not going to go get it right now. There was a close friend of mine. He's locked up right now, and I was really like sticking close to him, and because he was climbing his way to the top, and he eventually became he eventually made it to the top. And when you get to the top, you got boss status. In China, in the Chinese gang, is called Dai Lo, Big Brother, right? When you make it, when you call the shots, you got people under you. You're making money, and he ended up he's locked up right now, man. And he's looking at life in prison right now for 2 attempted murder charges, conspiracy to murder charges, and I was just following him around, man, and eventually, like he gets amped up. Like he was actually in California. He tried to hide out in Chicago. Feds found him and apprehended him, took him back to Cali, and but yeah, that was my lifetime, man. I wanted to be at that status. He actually made it to the top, and and now he's locked up, possibly looking at life in prison. And it's like you and I've after I became a believer, I tried to reach out to him several times, be like, "Yo, you can turn your life around." And But in 2007, I caught a gun charge, man. And the crazy thing is that gun charge had nothing to do with the streets, man. It was not gang related. Um, it was girl related.
You gotta look out for the girls, man. Like, don't matter what you do, they're gonna get you in trouble whether you're straight, like
it
you're in
was
the gang, whatever. The girls always be one to get you in trouble.
it was
Oh yeah.
bad, though. I was dating this girl, and she was a part of the crowd that I ran with, and um, she was with somebody. She was actually married at the time, and she was talking about how uh, I'm gonna leave him, and we're gonna be together. And then like towards the tail end of that relationship, she was like, kind of getting cold feet. And one night, one of my little homies, we were just in my garage, and I was like, "Yo, go grab me a bottle of Jose Cuervo from the store." And so he stole a bottle from me. We went back to my house. We got drunk, and then I said, let's go to her house. I'm gonna go talk to her husband. So I went to to her house, to her apartment, and I get through I enter the backyard with my pistol, and I'm calling her phone. I'm like, "Yo, tell your husband to come out. I'm gonna go talk to him." And I was in the backyard. I was stupid drunk, and after like 30 minutes, he wouldn't come out. I actually shot. I fired a shot accidentally, and so it definitely was not coming out. Um, and so on my way out, though, I was like, "Yeah, I'm finna go home. I'm acting a fool right now." As soon as I open that gate, so let's say that this is the gate to the backyard. And my car is that way. So I open the gate to the backyard, and I immediately turn this way. And as I turn that way, I'm facing this way. I hear freeze, mother effer, put your effing gun down. And
Yeah.
there's a patrol car with 3 cops, and their guns are drawn on me. And um I'm like, I'm gonna die. They're gonna shoot me right now. I'm like, I'm just stuck. And the crazy thing about this is that I'm facing this way, the cops are that way, and I do put my gun down, but I put it down with the motion like I'm gonna draw on them, which is crazy. And looking back at the whole experience, I'm like, man, God had my back even then, because I talked to some of my friends now that are cops, retired cops. I'm like, yo, what would you have done? They were like, I would have been justified to shoot you, because I felt like you look like you were gonna shoot and draw on us. And but by God's grace, man, they didn't shoot. I put my gun down, and I remember that night in my jail cell, I was crying, man. I was like, my life is over. This is it. And and the entire time I was getting ready for prison life, and my boys would come and visit me, and I'd ask them, like, what do I do? What happens when I get locked up? Over here, what's the major prison here? You guys have like Rikers Island, right? Uh,
Yeah.
over where I'm from, like the major prison in our area would be San Quentin in Oakland in the Bay Area. And I'm like, man, what do I do? Who do I connect with? And they were just telling me like, when you get in there, you're good. We got people in there, and so I was like, this is it, man. This is my life. And but when I was locked up in county for 6 months, the first couple weeks I started attending these Bible studies, and um, I actually went for the wrong reasons. I was raised a Catholic, man, Roman Catholic, and I'm like, I should go. It's the Catholic thing to do, and I get an extra hour out of my jail cell. So I'm gonna go to these Bible studies, and when I started attending these Bible studies, man, something happened, man. I just started to take it seriously. I had this desire to want to turn my life around, because backtrack just a few weeks before that happened. My boys from the gang would come visit me, and there was some stuff happening with one of our homies. He was being shady with the drug money, and they would tell me like, yeah, so and so is being shady with the drug money. And I said, wait till I get out. We'll situate things with the OGs back in Oakland. And but after I started attending these Bible studies, like I said, something happened, man. Something changed. The direction of my life went from wanting to live the street life to wanting to follow Jesus. And so when after that experience happened, my friends from the gang would come visit me, and I'd tell them like, y'all need to go to church and read your Bibles, man. um, and then they were just like, what's going on? Who the heck are you, right? And I remember my dad as well coming to visit me, and he's a retired Navy guy, right? Very stern, asking me like, Dennis, what are you going to do when you get out of jail? What are you going to do with work, with school and everything? And I said, Dad, don't worry about any of that, man. God's going to take care of all of that. Dad, you need to go to church. You need to read your Bible. And he was like, what is going on, man? But that's really where my life turned around, man. The Lord really transformed my life. It was like just an awakening. I can't explain it other than something that really God did for me, changed my whole life, man, turned my life around, changed my heart from the inside out. Because before I went to jail, there were times I remember in my addiction, I tried to change. I tried to turn my life around. I would get clean for a few months or whatnot, but I get back into it, whether it was drinking and whatever it was, man. And but I couldn't escape it. I was still like I felt like I was shackled in the chains of addiction and a chains of the street life. And it wasn't until that moment when I was locked up that something really transformative happened to me in my life. And after 6 months, I got out, and I'd never been like to church before, other than just my experience growing up, but never really attended a Christian church and took it seriously. And so I didn't immediately go to church. I actually went back to the streets, man. I started hanging out on the streets again, getting drunk, getting high. And I remember like a few times I was back out in Oakland kicking it with some of my homies on the streets, and we were getting drunk. And it was so weird because I was like, man, I don't even like this anymore. Like the whole talk of the streets, whatever it was just like there was a different taste or appetite in my spirit where I just didn't want to be around that anymore. And there was this one time where I had this another coming to Jesus moment where it felt like God was impressing on my heart, telling me that, hey, I didn't save you out of that lifestyle to go back into that lifestyle. I saved you. I took you out of there for something else, man. And so that's when I was like, all right, God, I'm gonna I'm gonna leave this behind. But I was scared because, mind you, like I said, I didn't join a little wannabe gang. I joined a very serious gang, and I was scared for my life. I was scared for like my family's life. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, if what's gonna happen to me and my family, and if I make this decision to walk out of this life. And
Can I jump in for 1 second here? I'm a little bit confused on the timeline. I just want to make sure that I'm like clear or where we're going. So obviously you're out of prison already. How long did you serve, or how long?
so it was prison. I was in county for 6 months.
Oh, okay. So you never went for the charge really.
What was that?
You never got put in for the charges. Then you never served at San Quentin. For some reason I thought you went to San Quentin. I misunderstood.
Yeah, so that was when I was in county, I was preparing for San Quentin.
Gotcha.
That's what I thought the judge was going to give me. I was looking at like 5 year sentence, and I ended up getting just that 6 months in county, and then I ended up getting probation.
Okay, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. So I thought you did some time in San Quentin. So
Oh no,
like I
no.
was a little bit confused on the timeline. I got you now. Okay, I'm sorry.
And so after I had made that decision, I was praying, and I was like, all right, God, I'm gonna entrust my life to you, and I'm gonna leave the streets behind. And that guy that I was telling you earlier, the guy that's locked up right now, I give him a call, and I'm like, yo, I can't do this anymore. I can't live the life of the streets and follow Jesus. I can't play. I can't live in both worlds. And I don't know what you guys want from me, but this is the decision that I'm making. And man, God really answered that prayer when I said, God, I'm gonna follow you. I'm going to turn my back on the streets, and really follow you. And they said, I was told, like, we respect that your decision to want to leave this life and pursue faith or whatnot. And but I was given a disclaimer of like, if we see you with another set, then we know that you were just blowing smoke in our face. And so ever since then, when after I made that phone call to my friend to say I'm leaving the gang, that's just I just been pursuing Jesus my whole life, man. Ever since then, that was 2000, um, end of 2007. I've been walking with Jesus now for 16 years. So, um, and when I said when you interviewed you, Jeff, when you interviewed me at the fight, I made that very clear. That's why I do what I do, man. I'm a very driven guy. Whatever it is, whether it's the fight game, whatever I'm pursuing, man, I just go all in. I'm I go hard in whatever it is that I'm pursuing, because I'm just taking full advantage, man. Because I should not be alive right now. Real talk. I should either be dead or locked up, and God gave me the second chance, and I want people to know that it doesn't matter. Like we've all made mistakes. There's so many people that have either did less crap than me or even worse than me. But at the end of the day, we've all failed at life. But Jesus gives us an opportunity to turn our life around. He forgives us for our sins, and he gives us a chance to live a better life. And so that's why I do what I do on the fight game, man. Why I stepped in that ring? Yeah, I'm a driven guy, but um, the opportunity to do that was because God's given me the ability to do that. And I want people in the streets, people that are feel like there's no way out, man. Like I want them to see that there are second chances are possible, and you don't have to just survive after you've turned your life around. You can actually thrive, man. And I'm thriving by God's grace in all that I do, whether it's the fight game or whatever, man. It's by God's grace.
How you end up in Rochester?
So I was in 3 years ago, I was a pastor in California, and I graduated from seminary, spent 5 years in seminary and in Bible college. And I after I graduated, I took this church, this small little Filipino church in where I'm from. And after a couple years, I felt like I was ill-equipped. I needed to like get more training as a pastor, and so I was looking for a position where I wasn't the lead guy, but more of playing the supportive role to the lead pastor. And so I started looking for a position, and this church, Harvest Bible Chapel in Rochester, was looking for an associate pastor. And so that's how I ended up here. I'm the associate pastor of Harvest Bible Chapel, and I oversee kids ministry and student ministry. So from the nursery to 12th grade, man. I'm responsible for helping them grow in their spiritual walk, to be who God's called them to be. So that's how I got here.
Do you help teach them martial arts there too? Get
And
them involved.
I want to, man. I want to. And I actually last year I had this idea of I reached out to my guys at Empire, that close group. I was like, hey, you guys interested in like teaching my youth group self-defense, man? Just we love this. Maybe it'll help them. So that never came to fruition, but yeah, I actually had two of my students from youth group at the fight. And what's funny is before the fight, they were like, Dennis, if you get knocked out, bro, just know that we're gonna let you live that down. And I was like, I had a lot of pressure from my youth group telling me like, yo, if you get knocked out, and so I tried not to get knocked out. So that's how I ended up in Rochester, man.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome. I know a pastor over in I think he's in Frewsburg now, Cameron Leinhart, and we might be going at the grappling at the Josh Country's grappling tournament.
Nice.
Oh, someone gave you some props here. Nicholas Walker gave you some more props too.
Yeah. So the other thing that you were talking about, or that you asked me to talk about, like how am I making a difference here in the city of Rochester? Outside of, so in relation to what I do at the church, like God's actually opened a door for me to mentor inner city youth. And if you guys ever like hear anything about the news, Rochester's pretty crazy, man. Like last year, I think it was last year or it was 2022, 2021. We had exceeded our the murder rate by like, it was like 81 or 82, and I was like, it was just insane. And Ray, I know you had mentioned in one of your posts like the Armstrong Armory. Like I gotta stay strapped because I live in the hood. I live in the hood too, man. I live off of Bay Street here in Rochester. It's well known for like just the crime. And but I 13 years ago, when I was going to junior college, I wanted to work for probation, or juvenile hall, not probation, because I felt like, I've been on the streets. I want to be able, I feel like God can take my experience of being an at-risk youth and speak into the lives of youth that are messing up their life, letting them know like there's a better way. You don't have to keep going down this path. You can actually do something and make something of your life. And I wasn't able to do that because of my record. But that prayer to want to do that was actually not a no. It was more of just wait, because it wasn't until I got to Rochester that God opened the door for me to actually start doing some serious mentoring to at-risk youth. There's like Franklin Height is one of the like really just bad schools around here, man. I remember going there one time to meet with a couple youth, and I was in the lunchroom. I was like, how many of you guys have ankle monitors in here, man? It was crazy. Just with where the kids were at. But God really opened a door to do some work with Franklin High through my connection with Youth for Christ. There's one kid that I got to meet, and he came to church with me today. But this is a cool story, man. And just the going back full circle with how God can take our life and make something good out of it, right? So I went to Franklin High, and there was this one kid that was on the run. He had warrants on him. Young kid. He was 15 at the time. He's 16 now, and he told me, I met him that day, and he said, I want to turn my life around. I want to stop running. And so and he was like, I want to turn my life. I want to turn myself in. And I said, and I looked at him and I was like, listen, I'm going to go with you if you really want to turn yourself in. And, but here's the thing, if you do this, it's not going to be easy. Yeah, like to really live a straight life and turn your life on the streets, it's going to take work. But here's the thing, if you decide, if you make this decision, I'll mentor you. I'll walk with you on this journey so you don't have to do this alone. And so I met him that day for the first time, and it was like a 5 hour journey with this kid, man. We were in the principal's office. We called his mom. We went to his house. We went to probation. We went to court, all in the span of like 4 or 5 hours. He ended up getting detained that day. He went to juvie for about a month and a half, and I went to go visit him a couple times and went to every one of his court hearings. And and right now I'm working closely with him and his probation officer on trying to create a success plan for him to stay away from the streets. And a couple weeks ago, I was actually at the mayor's office here in Rochester, and trying to figure out ways with a few other clergy or pastors in the area on how we can mitigate the crime here in Rochester. How can the church come alongside with at-risk youth? And so I'm working closely with them right now to try to get this young man a summer job, so that he can keep himself busy, not stay on the street, especially in the summer, right? With school being out. There's another kid that I'm working closely with, same thing. He's going through court hearings right now, attending every one of his court hearings, and just being there for these kids, man. And one thing that I tell them over and over is that your life matters, and that you can make something of yourself, man. Because these kids, when you get to know them, yeah, they've made mistakes, and they're in the streets, but man, they have so much potential. And they're just not harnessing that potential or the gifts that God's given them, man. They're taking all that positive, or those gifts, the energies that they have, and they're pouring it into the streets. And if they would just harness that, the gifts that God's given them in a positive light, in the right direction, man, I tell them that they can be just great avenues or means of change in our community. And so it's been great, man. I hope that I can continue to do this for however long I'm here in Rochester, man.
Is there an exit plan for you, or do you plan to be here for a while?
Dude, I don't have an exit plan right now because me and my wife love Rochester, bro. See, we've been here for 3 years. We love the community. It went from loving the city of Rochester to loving the people of Rochester. And we have no plans of leaving anytime soon. We want to, we see Rochester as a home that we can actually plant roots in. With all the crap that goes on in Rochester, all the crime that you hear about in the news, Rochester really is a beautiful place, man. It's got great history, and it's got great people. And so we want to plant roots. And just to solidify that we're really committed to Rochester. Last year, one of my friends, my first pastor, he moved back to Tampa, and he called me, and he offered me a job. He's like, "Hey, I'm looking for a new youth pastor." And within 5 seconds, I said, "Steve, I can't take that offer, man." I just said, me and my wife just love the city of Rochester. We're not leaving anytime soon. We're just really committed, man. And so, yeah, no exit plan, Jeff. We love Rochester. We love the community. And bro, I just can't leave. I just can't leave this gym. I was like, I love my gym too. Just
Yeah,
team.
you are committed, man. You are committed to
You can see
Tampa.
the K4 cage 2 more times, then that'd be good.
I love it, man. I just I asked my I saw the August 5th card, and I asked my coach if I could get on that card, and he gave me the thumbs up. And so hoping to get back in the cage, and yeah, dude, inspire more people. Not just to fight, but like I said, man, I'm passionate about fighting, but so long as I'm alive, man, I just want to inspire people. I posted something the other day too, like just befriended my opponent. Nothing but respect for him. And because my coaches, Coach Chris Herzog and Wally McDonald, man, just love how they're true martial artists.
Herzog's the man.
I think he's dope, man. I think he's somebody said I got don't quote me on this or I don't know if it's official yet, but like he's supposed to be going to LA to like be inducted into the Hall of Fame for 10th Planet or something like that.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, he's legit, man. And these guys they teach us not just to be fighters, man. They teach us to really be awesome human beings, be disciplined martial artists ourselves. That's why I appreciate being under them and being coached by them, being mentored by them.
Guys are super legit over there. Herzog's guys are always really good. I'm super impressed by the 10th Planet down there.
Coach Wally's actually he worked for the sheriff's department. So when I go to the family court for some of the guys that I'm mentoring, I'll see him there sometimes, or his wife, because they both work for the sheriff's department. And it's just so cool. That whole atmosphere, man. The whole coaching staff. Coach Rodney, he's our combat conditioning coach, and Nick Chris Muir, our one of our assistant coaches. They're just the whole staff out there, man. Just like really amazing people.
I love it. I love the sound of that, man. And hopefully we get you back in the cage for K4. Like, you have a great story, and I'm really glad I have a platform that I can at least let you speak about it. It's important to me that we give people good stories every now and then. Like, we spend a lot of time talking a bunch of bullshit about like other fights, and we'll probably do that as soon as we hang up with you. Me and Ray talk some more shit. But to me, like, I want to bring light to like these stories that people don't see. And like, everyone that fights is a person, and everyone's got a different story, and we all do it for different reasons. And like, we can be a community and really help people too.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Absolutely. I appreciate the opportunity to be on your podcast. I think it's a really cool privilege to be able to do this, man. As soon as you asked me that, man, I was shocked. I tell people here all the time, I was like, yo, like they asked me to share my story. Because, and so I definitely appreciate that. I felt the love. And as soon as I got out the cage, Ben was down there to greet me, and just all around, dude, the whole promotion, just how you guys treat your fighters. It's you guys are just you guys just gonna keep climbing, man. It's just amazing.
I got so like I'm gonna segue out from like podcast host to like gym owner, and do you think that people need to have like a group? So like, you talked about how you got into the game because you wanted that like loving and tight knit family, and now you're in another tight knit family like in being a priest, or not priest but a pastor, and you're also, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to misspeak, and also you like your tightness with your gyms, right? And I try and make my gym a family. I want people to have a place to go to get away from life sometimes. Sometimes, like, I have like high level athletes, and we're a small gym with huge goals. But one of my goals is that everyone has a place to come to, and we can speak with each other and like help each other. And I want to make that in my gym at all times. That integrity over there in the corner, up next to Ray's face there. But I think as a pastor, you can speak more to this than me.
Yeah, no, I think that everybody, like, that's somebody wrote family. Yo, it's I think that's important, man. That community aspect, and in the gym, whatever, like wherever it's at, man. It's that's God's created us to be a community, man. We're not intended to be an island on our own, man. And we see all the challenges that we face in the world today. There's so much division going on. That's not how God created the world to be. How humanity is supposed to operate. So whether in church, whether in the gym, MMA gym, a fight gym, whatever, I think that having like you said, well, I'm going to speak to your context as a gym owner. I think that it's important, man, to have that environment where people feel welcomed, and I think that people thrive more off of that. Case in point, I was just talking to one of my friends. He's going to be fighting, hopefully for Gladius in June, and And he moved. He does motocrossing. His main passion is motocross. So he went back to, or not went back, but he moved to California so that he can do that seriously. And he was looking for in the locker room the other day. He said, "I was like, yo, Johnny, you probably never going back to California, man. Seems like you're committed back to Rochester." And he said, bro, I feel like I want to stay here because the gym, the atmosphere at Empire. He's went to a few gyms while he was in Southern California. Some were pros fighting everything, but he said, I don't have, I never found what we have here at Empire, the community of guys where we do life together in the gym and outside of the gym. And so I think that people thrive more off of that, man, where guys are like that. I just love the atmosphere where Malik, he fought on the K4 card, right? These guys, when I first started sparring, man, and these guys are high level athletes, whether it's Liam Anderson, Malik, or some of the other guys that have been in the fight game for a while. When I first started sparring, I was so nervous. I was like, man, these guys are like high level. They're gonna beat me up. But in the middle of sparring, they would coach me on how to beat them, or and I'm like, what's going on here? You guys are giving me the strategy to get in on you, to hit your face or whatever. But I remember him saying one time, one team, one dream. And I love that, bro. Just the where my experience at Empire, there may be a few guys here and there that have like a big ego trip of trying to make it to the top, or just trying to beat people up or whatever. It's all about them. That's very my experience at Empire. It's very rare that I've run into people like that. Primarily though, there's been just this genuine desire to want to see other people elevate. And I think when you have that atmosphere where everybody wants to see your teammates succeed, it just makes for a better community, man. And so I think it's super important to have that familial community aspect in the gym, man.
Hey, Dennis, do you think schools should be teaching martial arts
Do I
to
think so.
kids?
I think that it would be great if they brought in jujitsu or Muay Thai in schools, man. And the reason being is because it's discipline is a big aspect of the fight game,
Right.
right? When you're sparring, like you either when you start taking a lot of hits or whatnot, like and your emotions start taking over, or you got to learn how to actually control your emotions, not be
Yep.
driven by rage or anger, but still be disciplined to actually be in the game. And so I think that translates into life. These kids, what they experience, and I think that the fight game for them can and being learning discipline, learning martial arts is can be super helpful in teaching them skills, not just to defend themselves, but to actually live life, man.
Yep.
So yeah, for sure. Either that, or like I said, I'm a very driven guy. I have a vision right now. I don't know if it's ever going to come to fruition, but like to even come up with to maybe start a program with the city, to where if they can have a grant available for kids that can't
Right.
afford to go to gyms, right? Because it's not cheap, right? And you as a
Yep.
gym owner know you got to pay the bills as well, right? But if there could be a possibility for a grant available for kids that want to get into the fight game and to learn discipline, to where they can have their memberships paid for by the city, or by a grant, man. To Because it's going to benefit them, the city, and just our community as a whole, man. So
I would love to do that myself. I wish I could find some way to hook up with someone that wants to do that in the city, because Niagara Falls not the best place in the world either, and
Yeah.
I think we could
Hey,
help people too.
yeah.
Dennis, I might know somebody, so I would definitely inbox you, that person that
Oh yeah.
works in the city of Rochester. So
let's make it happen, man. I'd love to. It's something I'm definitely praying about, because it's just done wonders for me, man. It's helped me in my own life, and my mental health. Being like, here's the thing, dude. Being a people ask me like, dude, why do you like go do the fight game? Like, dude, being in the gym for me helps my mental health, man, because I work with people all the time, and I need to find a way to take care of my own mental health and my own spiritual health, and being in the gym helps that, man. So for sure.
There's no way I can make it through my day if I didn't get to beat someone up at least once a day. Me and Garrett box on lunch, so we do it twice a day. We get 2 days in. All right, man. Thank you so much for your time, Dennis. I appreciate you. I'm so happy you came on the podcast to let us get your story out there a little bit. It'll be on Facebook the whole time. It should go to YouTube. We'll figure out how this thing works. We'll make sure it gets posted. Sorry we lost the first couple minutes, but we reviewed it anyway. So anything you got to say in closing? Anyone to thank?
Dude, I want to thank. There's so many people to thank, man. All the people that have invested in me back in California. If you guys are watching this, thank you for pouring into me, believing in me. My wife, my family, my teammates, my church here, and you guys, dude. I like it. It sounds like I know I'm like over and over. But definitely appreciate the K4 promotion. I appreciate what you guys are doing, and just this opportunity for me to share my story, man. It says a lot about you guys as people, as a promotion, so I thank you guys for this opportunity, man. Like I said when you interviewed me, Jeff, dude, it doesn't matter if you have friends out there, if you yourself find yourself struggling with addiction, with whatever issue, man, depression, man, Jesus has turned my life around. I know that he can do the same for you. And man, there's forgiveness of sins, man, in Jesus Christ. He paid for it on the cross. He can turn your life around. He turned my life around. And so that's really my final word, man. And thank you so much, Jeff. I appreciate this opportunity. I just can't say enough how thankful I am. And Ray, it's been a pleasure getting to know you guys. I know that in the next few months and the years come along, I appreciate that we've been able to connect, man. I love it.
Yeah, I definitely could relate to you. I definitely could relate. I've been
Ray's
there.
always in jail. That's why he can relate to you. Ray spent some time in that too. All right, man. I'll make sure that I hook up with you again, and I'll try and send you Cameron stuff. Maybe you guys can hook up and we can all get together and do something too. He's a black belt, so I'm sure we can all get together and train pretty hard.
Sounds good, man.
All right. Talk to you later, man.
All right, you guys.
Peace. Oh, how do you say your last name? I was going to shout you out, but I don't want to mess up your name.
No, say it, man, because I think when you said it after the fight, bro, I was like, you
I practiced it and I don't remember, dude. I'm sorry.
It's Opolentissimo. It's phonetic. It's just like it's spelled.
Opolentissimo.
Opolentissimo. There you go.
Opolentissimo. Thank you, Dennis Opolentissimo. Let's go.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all have a good evening, man. Love you guys.
God bless.
God bless. Peace.
Peace. All right, Ray, back to just us.
Oh yeah, Caveman Corner.
I got drinking.
I'm sorry I was a little late.
Yeah,
I was eating a taco. I thought to make it in time.
I had the Mexican music all queued up, ready to go. You weren't here for it. I'm very disappointed by you. See, listen, can you hear it?
I heard it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sorry. And then like I noticed like we wasn't live, so I had to click on it.
Oh, you had to click on it? That's what happened? Oh, I'm glad you did it.
I clicked on it. I was like, wait a minute, are we live? And I was trying to look. I looked on my phone on Facebook, and I was like, no, we're not.
It did the counter, so
I clicked on it.
It did that 30-second counter. I thought that meant we were live. Now we know. So technical fault on my end, of course. Ray saved the show. If we didn't have Ray, we'd have never been live. So it's good he jumped in there. So.
Oh yeah, that guy is, man. He Dennis is a great guy. He's positive, and I'm glad he's working with the kids in Rochester.
Yeah, I'm glad he brought some positivity to a podcast because you
Yeah.
will bring it down. I got two things. Number one, I think I have a great drinking game for everybody in this world. We can listen to this podcast, and every time you hear the word Jesus, take a shot. See how messed up you are. See if you make it to the end. That looks a little homo drinking on this.
Like this video and subscribe on Facebook,
yes,
YouTube, and like our page on our Facebook.
Mm-hmm. I got one more thing. I'm sorry. I got like 10,000 messages that come through during our podcast, like always. What do you think about the 765 stuff? Like they've been calling you out. You guys have been going at it a little bit. I can't. We can't do one of these and not talk about it real quick.
Okay. What I think about them? They unprofessional, right? Can't get the blood work done. Ringworms don't clean their mats, so they gotta leave the homeless shelter and they get a real gym.
Yeah. I don't know what I want to say. Like on here, I gotta think about what I want to say very carefully right now. So they've been going at it, and you've been going at it. How much of that is? How much of that is real? How much was that you trying to help sell them and sell the fight for K4?
Oh, it's real. I don't.
It's real now.
Yeah,
it wasn't real at first, right?
What's that?
It wasn't real at first, was it?
Oh, it was always real.
Was it real?
Yeah.
Man, I thought you were just trying to help out and sell the show.
No, it was real. Yo, the show did sold out.
Yeah.
It was a big hype, but they, again, unprofessional. Blood work wasn't done right. Ringworms for not cleaning their training mat. Come on, you gotta be professional.
I don't want to platform them too much longer because now it's like kind of a nuisance, really. But I believe that they're all tough guys, right? Like they all come out to fight, and they're all super. I don't know if super tough's the right word, but they're all aggressive and they're all tough. But
they kind of remind me of Joey Morrison and Gerhardt.
Yeah.
But I respect them for coming in the cage. You gotta respect anybody that come in the cage to get beat up,
I think they got more fight than Gerhardt, and they got more fight than Joey Morrison. Like those guys are like kind of quitters, really. Like they come out, give you their best shot, and then just quit. These guys don't quit, but they're gonna get shut off over and over again. They're more like I don't know, some guys that just come in and lose every time. Like
they gotta work on their craft for sure. And they gotta work on their jiu-jitsu. They gotta work on their takedown defense. They just gotta, in my opinion, they need some real coaches.
I think they can do that, or they can realize the level that they're on and fight comparable opponents, right? Like they shouldn't be calling out guys like DeMonte Wilson and guys that are going to become
legendary. Man, I saw that post. Caveman, when I saw that post, I was like, I couldn't believe it.
I feel like it's almost our job to help them,
guide them.
This is like a heartfelt. This is not like I'm not trying to trash you guys. Like we spent a lot of time like making fun of 765, and like to me like it was just a thing to help sell the show, and like I let you train at the gym, Skylar, and like I think you're a great guy, but man, there's like levels to this game, and I don't want to see anyone get hurt. I want to make sure that we're fighting like comparable opponents. No one should even match you up with a guy. That's not really a fair matchup. If you think you're gonna beat him on the ground, you're really mistaken. The Niagara top two guys are good everywhere. I don't know. I don't want to like spend too much time on this, but I wanted to make sure that I said this and it's heartfelt, and like I want the best for you, and I hope you come train when you come back up. I will help you accomplish your goals, but like we have to set realistic goals. That's all I really got. Ray likes to like talk more shit than me.
Yeah, they should come to Buffalo and make sure they wash up pretty good before they roll in your mats.
Yeah.
But get some lesson from the caveman.
Yeah. I can help them, and I'd like to help them.
Yeah.
I think me and Skylar have a good rapport. I like him. He's a good, strong kid. He's tough. Wants to work hard.
Yeah.
Dorian, I've been talking with too. Dorian.
And
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say they are tough.
Yeah.
I get them that they are tough. They come to fight. But my thing with them is the professional. They just need a real gym, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
They need real trainers, not no kung fu monkey style kung fu guy.
Yeah. Tyreek would have made a good fight there. And then last thing, man, that loading guy, like, man, you gotta chill out a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm talking about people's family. Like, there's shit you talk about. Like, I'll talk shit about people, but I won't really make fun of your family ever. And like, that's not okay.
Right. With him, when I was talking to him, he just sounded like he's like a 12-year-old kid,
Yeah. And then
just responds, it's like a little kid, like, yeah, he's slow. He's he's got to be over 21. He's slow. But
and don't forget, Ray was on their podcast. Go watch the podcast with Ray. Even the 764.5 crew, they had to like do the podcast twice too.
Yeah. Yep. Nobody on Facebook could hear us.
No, it was bad. All right, we're about out of here. What's next show, Ray?
I'm working on some stuff. I don't know yet, but I'm setting some one show. I'm gonna get a world-class boxers, some world champion boxers. I'm gonna have them on the show and do a talk about boxing.
Nice.
When I get some jiu-jitsu black belts on here, get some more pro fighters, get some more UFC fighters. We coming back better and stronger now.
Yeah, we should be getting Joe Taylor, right? Joe Taylor.
Oh yeah, Joe Taylor. We'll get Joe Taylor. He's got a world kickboxing K1 fight coming up.
Yep, in Lockport, June. I forgot the date. I'm sorry.
I think it's June 5th.
June 5th, first weekend in June. Make sure you check that show out. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be off the chain, man. Any fight that Joe Taylor puts together is a great show.
Oh yeah.
And then eventually we'll be getting a bunch of people on here. We're gonna start shooting podcasts from the gym too. So we're gonna roll with the guy and then interview you guys at the gym. So anyone that wants to jump in for one of those, let me know. Cedric Ortiz from Southtowns MMA came in today, but he had to fly out. Eventually I'd like to shoot. I'll probably do a podcast with him at the gym, but it won't be posted live like this.
Okay, yeah.
Man,
Corner's back, baby.
We're back. We're back with love. We'll be here at 8:00 every Sunday.
I want to get David Philbin back too.
Yeah, you should get Feldman on so we can get some shit with Ben Green.
And invite
Ben Phil, I mean, not Ben Green. Ben will hate you forever. He hates Ben. Ben hates David Feldman.
Ben hates everybody.
Yeah. All right, man. Thank you. If you can't get Coleman too, we'll try and do a non-drunk Mark Coleman one too.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yep.
Now that he's sober.
He's sober now. He's looking good now,
Dude, it'd be another great story. I want to try and make good stories because I think people like to hear good things. Except for Jared. Jared likes to hear horrible things.
Yeah.
All right, man. We're out. Peace out. Cavemans Corner loves you.